Let me tell you something. A driver don't pick the car. The car pick the driver. It's a mystical bond between man and machine. It's a mystical bond between man.
What's up, you beautiful collectors and action figure fans? It's the one and only Optibotimus coming with another video review. And on today's episode, thanks to the support of my patrons, we're going to be taking a look at the new Transformers Bumblebee Nitro series, Barricade. Everybody knows Barricade. It's nice to see a familiar face here in the Transformers Bumblebee line. Now, obviously, the new movie's not out yet, and we don't really know if Barricade's going to be in it, but hey, we get a toy for him. For the package, you get this open window that lets you kind of poke him and touch him and stuff. When you look at it, he does have a very kind of similar look to what we're used to seeing, but obviously he's a much older looking police car. And then as you can see, he does come with one of the Energon igniter core things. Come around the back of the package and you can see that he transforms in 10 steps. It looks like the instructions are all right here. They got the Energon core that can be plugged in there and basically makes it look like it drives him as well. That's kind of what a lot of these new Bumblebee figures kind of have a gimmick wrapped around. But for the packaging on this guy, that's about it. So without further ado, let's get him out here and see how cool he actually is. Alright guys, so here we have the Nitro Series Barricade open up out of his packaging and obviously in his 80s-ish police car. And before I go on, in case you guys haven't noticed, I've been using a gray background. Let me know what you guys think. Do you like it? I just have it placed on my white background here, so I still get like an extra kind of reflection of that white, and kind of making things look nice and bright here. But let me know what you guys think. But for Barricade here, pretty decent looking. Now, the Nitro Series is a little bit bigger and a little bit more involved than what we have with, say, the Power Plus series, or even just the Power series. The Power Plus, again, is the one that comes with this. Now, with Dropkick here, I feel like definitely way too small. But I feel like the scale here works pretty decently, because a Volkswagen Beetle is actually a pretty small car. Now, I have no idea. This is heavily modified. I don't know what kind of car it's meant to replicate, but I think that the scale here works pretty decently. And then just for the heck of it, here is the Studio Series, which is even a little bit more small, but you get kind of an idea of the size going on here. Now for his accessory, he comes with one of these Energon cores. It's actually different than the one that I got with that Power Plus Bumblebee. Mostly, I mean, obviously the color is different, but you can see you got some nice silver on here, but you can see that it is sculpted differently. So it's not just this with some silver paint on there. Even the little trigger here, as you can see, is molded differently. But the overall, the idea is still the same. You got a little peg right here that you can plug onto some of the holes here, but you can see you got that silver paint carrying over to the other side. But like I said, you can see that it is sculpted differently. Works the same. You got the, you know, little trigger thing like this, and then you got, although this one doesn't sound nearly as good. This one sounds a lot more smooth, but I would imagine this would work in there as well, and we'll give that a try here. But taking a look at Barricade, overall, like I said, I have no idea what kind of car this is meant to be. It obviously looks heavily modified. I mean, I don't think a regular police car has like these bits around the tires. The front section here is really aggressive looking, but overall you can see pretty decent paint applications. You got some blue, you got some white, you have a nice Decepticon logo there, you got the police siren right up there. The blue and everything kind of goes throughout the stripes. You got some nice silver. I mean, overall, pretty decent paint job. As I was talking about, you do have a hole right there. If you wanted to, you can put this there. I don't know why you'd want to. And then, again, if you wanted to use this one, hey, look, it does the same thing. But that's about it. Now, with all of these, you do have that motorized gimmick. It's all housed in this piece. But to incorporate it here with Barricade, what you need to do is you got this bottom section. You can see there's just a cavity right here. Just kind of push your finger through there, and it'll open this up. And when you do that, you get some cannons. Now, this is kind of part of the transformation. You want to have these on the side, but you take this and I kind of forget. Oh, no, actually, you got this little post. You can see that there's a slot section right here. You can see, yeah, there you go, a little divot. So you just slide that through, kind of push that as far down as you really kind of can. Keep that all locked in there, and now you have an engine thing coming out. Okay, obviously because he is heavier, it will probably go not as far, but you can see it still gets it going. So that's pretty cool. I still like the gimmick. This incorporates fairly decently with it, so I don't mind it really all that much. And I love the fact that you don't have to have this. I mean, if you have this, you could easily use this. I want to say, let me see, will this fit through here? Oh, maybe that. Oh no, yeah, that fits in there. There we go. Yeah, that's gonna work. Yeah, that's gonna do the exact same thing. So you do have that. It does feel like it's a little bit different on the side, but overall it's the same principle. So you do have that, but really very cool. And then, like I said, you got these cannons right here. To transform them, you're gonna really want to do that anyhow. But come back here to these legs. Oh, well, the back section, which will become the legs. Fold these down and around like so. Come around to these bottom sections. Just fold that forward. You can split that. Take these arms. Hinge these down like so. The head section here is a little bit tricky to get to. Kind of push it from the side. And then you push it all the way back and through. Bring the chest down. That will lock into place. Bring that down. You can rotate these hands into position. And when you're done, there you have Barricade in his robot mode. Presence-wise, he looks pretty good. I'm in general pretty happy with him. There are some things that I'm not a huge fan of, though. Like I said, the overall look is really cool, and you can see that there are definite elements. If this is how he's going to look in the movie, if he's in the movie, I do like the fact that he has a similar look to what we're used to seeing, much like Bumblebee. I mean, yeah, Bumblebee is a new Volkswagen Beetle, but a lot of those same elements that are very common for Bumblebee are represented in the new toys. And that's similar here with Barricade. The overall look on him is really very nice. That head sculpt is really sharp. Coming in to take a closer look at that, that's really very cool looking. Some nice red paint there for the eyes, which is kind of hard to see. A lot of silver in his face and everything. You got that dark coloring that's similar to that. You can't really do anything with these. Those are always gonna be there, but you know, it's not that bad. But when you look at some of the other characteristics, like the way that these arms are, where the arms are kind of made out of the doors, you got the tire up here, the front chest area. I mean, a lot of elements on this look like the Barricade that we know and love. Obviously, it is a much more simplified Transformer, so there's a lot of kind of gappiness going through there. My biggest complaint would probably be the articulation. I mean, he's nice. Well, let me get through it. So the head here feels like it's on a ball joint. So you get a little bit of up and down, some left and right. All that's really very nice. Shoulders rotate. They hinge in and out here. I mean, there's a little bit of kind of restriction, but you can get them out, which isn't that bad. He bends here at the elbow. It doesn't rotate at the elbow, but you get a nice bend at the elbow. You get some rotation here at the actual wrist, which is nice. Nothing at the waist. I'm okay with that. The hips, though, here we go. They move in and out. They don't move forward and back. And I have zero idea, because you got like this whole post thing right here that connects the legs. Zero idea why they could not have put a rotation joint there. I feel that's inexcusable. Just absolutely terrible design there, Hasbro. You totally could have, especially since you also have knees. They gave him knees, and then I guess technically, you know, ankles. But you can't do anything because his knees or his hips don't bend. Almost everything is in this guy, and you screw up on that. I mean, he looks cool. Don't get me wrong. I mean, that is a cool looking toy. Dig him. But how could you not put that in there? That just really, I don't want to say ruins it. Just it definitely is something that should have been put in there. It really, especially since you gave him wrist rotation. I mean, come on. You can't have him hold this. Just sits there in a little peg. That works. If you don't want to do that, you come around to the back. You can put him right in there, just like so, but that's going to look weird. Not really much else that you can do with it. fill in the gaps in his legs. Just kind of wedge it in there, I guess. You can do something like that. But decent. Now for, let's do some size comparison. So setting him there, coming back a little bit. Here we have him with those Power Series figures. Here we have him Bumblebee and Dropkick here. Obviously, you can see he gets to be much larger than these two guys. Kind of goes along with the fact that, I mean, he's a bigger vehicle, so naturally he's going to be a bigger robot. Here is that Power Charge Bumblebee. Obviously, he gets really big because this guy is fairly massive. And just because I have these here, here's that the Cyberverse version of Shockwave. You can see that they're about more scaled properly. And then let's bring in Punch, Counter Punch, because again, that's a figure that I have here. So at the head here, Barricade though is bigger than even this newer version of Shockwave, but not bad. I mean, he does look good. The only thing that's really bad is the lack of forward and back motion. That really does suck. To transform him back, we're going to fold the head back like that, take this section, fold this up, and then take the head, bring that all the way down like so. Bring these arms up. You want to go with the fender section in first because there's a little tab, so you kind of want to go on an angle. So bring it down like that, and then push everything in. You also want to rotate these fists down. So straighten that out again. If you just go in like that, that little tab kind of hits that and doesn't really sit in there flush. So you want to kind of go on an angle like so, bring that in, rotate these hands around. Take this section, fold this back, squeeze his legs together, and then kind of angle these. It's a little bit tricky to get these in, but keep those kind of straight and then fold this around. Keep that like that. I don't think it really matters which way you have these. Maybe if it's facing up like that. Yeah. Well, does that really work? Does it make it a little bit easier? Not really. So let me. I guess it does kind of matter how these go. There we go. Yeah. So you want to have like the thumb area pointing down, and then you can close this a little bit easier. Well, I lied. There we go. There we go. And then keep everything squeezed together. You can leave it like that, or you can bring these together. Again, you kind of want to bring them together at the same time so that it sits flush. But when you're done, there you have Barricade back in his police car mode. Overall, though, again, another fun toy. I don't think that this gimmick ruins the figure at all, which is something I absolutely love. I feel like having this as a separate piece really does help you to enjoy kind of the full potential of the toy. Vehicle mode wise looks really good. The paint applications look really sharp on them. Transformation obviously is very, very simple. A lot of these are, but they're geared towards kids. It's the Studio Series ones that are geared toward more adult collectors such as myself. So on the premise of this being a kid's toy, I think it works. The only thing I really don't like is the fact that they didn't include hip rotation to allow his legs to be able to move forward and back. I mean, they put so much else into them in terms of articulation that I really feel they could have done that. So that is definitely a knock against it. It still displays really nicely and looks pretty cool, I think. As I talked about, there's a lot of those elements of Barricade that we know from the previous movies that this guy has, and I like seeing that. So if he's in the movie, I'm really excited to kind of see where he came from. A lot of people throughout history have really talked about how Barricade and Bumblebee are kind of rivals. And conversely, people are like, why? Because they like fought one time? Well, they always seem to kind of be running into each other. And hopefully the Bumblebee movie expands on that. But as for Barricade here, if this is a figure that you would like to add to your collection, he is hitting various retail locations right now. So if you are looking for him, good luck and happy hunting. Or as always, there's places such as Big Bad Toy Store. For that, I'll put a link down in the video description where you'll go to BBTS and you can check out availability on this guy as well as the rest of the wide range of Transformer figures. But beyond that, guys, that's about it. Remember, if you like this video, I would really appreciate your support and letting me know simply by hitting that thumbs up button. It actually does go a long way towards helping me out, and I would really appreciate it. And before you go, I want to send a huge thank you if you made it all the way to the end of this review. Another way that you can really help support my channel is making sure that you watch a video all the way through. And if you did that, thank you. Also, a huge shout out to all of my patrons, who through their continued support, now more than ever, help to make reviews like this possible. And if you'd like to be one of those people, please check out my Patreon page at patreon.com/Optibotimus. And finally, remember, the real trouble with the world is too many people grow up. Thank you for watching and taking the time to be a kid.